Blazin' It Radio, Larry Ulibarri, Kathie J. Wiggins. Are we even going to talk about the Broncos? Is it even worth mentioning?
Yeah, because you're Larry on sports and things need to get addressed. You can't just ignore the problem.
Oh, no, I thought...
Like, there's a problem.
Oh, no.
Oh, there's a problem.
There's a problem because... nobody wants to stick around for the whole game because you're sitting there torn. And, everybody's like, oh, I'm tried and true. I'm going to watch them lose all the way to the end. But some people are like, well, I could fit another show in. Or I could go
Larry.
do this. I could go clean my gutters.
I mean, that's the problem. But the bigger problem is the players.
Yes.
The players are the ones saying it's time to
you
leave.
guys think that it can be fixed and save the season.
No. The season's over. And to me, they looked like they were playing like that yesterday. Like, we know we're out of everything. So let's just give it a half-assed shot.
Brock Osweiler wasn't any better than Trevor Siemian, and which means that it's an offensive line problem, which means that and that's been the problem since Peyton Manning was here. They never fixed it. It's like we had a defense with TJ Ward, and we had a good cornerback. Talib, like him, think he's a good player. I think he's getting older. I think he doesn't play the cornerback position as well as he used to,
but
and
they
he's
were
getting
exhausted.
beat.
Like the defense was out on the field like most of the entire first half. Like they were exhausted. They can't be expected to perform when the offense doesn't give them a chance to rest.
No,
but I agree, it's everybody.
There were plays by the secondary that could have been a lot better. The linebackers for the Broncos are really good. Yeah, we could stop the run. We had the best run defense 2 weeks ago.
Not
in
when
the
they're
league.
Exhausted and trying to do double time for the other players. Now
it doesn't matter.
It's the
team,
Wiggins.
No, it's the.
Are you honestly just blaming this on the offense?
Yes, there's specific.
No.
Yes, you can't blame the whole team when half the team is doing good. It's and the other half has the potential to do good, but they're not. They don't have an offensive line that allows a run game to happen, that allows a passing game to happen.
That's all true.
And because of
that's all true.
But that's not the defensive fault.
No, but I'm saying the defense. They also were. I just don't. I think the defense could have been doing better. But like I said when I started, they were exhausted. What do you expect from them? So it is. The main problem is the offense, but the defense wasn't. I mean, they didn't help.
Yeah.
Well, listen, here's how I feel about it. I feel that it's the coach. We should fire him.
No.
And get rid of Simeon. And that should fix everything.
No. You don't just get rid of somebody.
Nope. That's what they do in the NFL.
No, that's not.
You don't think the coach's days are limited?
No,
I don't.
I think they are.
I think it's too soon.
I think they're already looking to replace him.
It's exactly what you just said a second ago, Wiggins. The offense has been a problem for a long time. It just proved it by putting in a different quarterback. No new results.
But that's
the fact the coach doesn't understand that.
Yes, exactly. The coach doesn't realize what the problem is.
And they're going to give him a little bit more time.
I don't think they will. Not when they've been playing the way that they've been playing. You don't get humiliated and lose 4 games.
Bronco fans are smarter than that. You can't just get rid of the coach and we're going to think heads are going to roll. We want things fixed.
I'm just saying, as far as John Elway's concerned, he's probably already looking.
Yeah. Well, you do find that interim coach, and Lovely Smith is not living up to the expectations, and it's his first year as a coach, and that's what happens in the NFL. It's a business. If you aren't leading,
just said the offense was a problem.
It doesn't matter. The coach should have recognized that the offense was the problem in the beginning of the season.
It's not changing players in the offense. It's changing the coach.
The coach should have realized the players were the problem in the preseason. He did not. So the coach, watch, you say this, Kathie, the coach will be the first to go.
It's time for Bronco Talk, 303-728-3420. What do you think?
What say you?
Yeah, what say you? 303-728-3420. Seriously, because everybody has an opinion if you look on social media.
Yeah.
But, you can spout off your opinion here. You can text that number, and you can also call us. Who's right? Kathie, Wiggins, are they both right?
Or
am I right?
I think we're both right.
I think I'm right. I think the coaches better start looking to sell his house.
I think that's going to be the case, yeah.
Right.
Because it was the worst. We haven't lost 4 games in a row like that since 2010. And so,
do you think Simeon can get out of this thing and we should just go with a different quarterback? Or
I think that's the problem is we don't have a true quarterback there, but you can't reflect Brock Osweiler was not the answer. So the fact that they went in there and thought that getting rid of TJ Ward before the season started, a defensive cornerback, and thinking that Brock Osweiler was the correct answer as an offensive line was a coaching error. And that was the problem with why the team is not being successful, is that they're not looking at the holes in the team and trying to adjust and fix where they're getting destroyed.
Well, we haven't been to Dove Valley in a while, so we're not looking at the holes in the team either. Like Kathie said, what say you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, as the real brand sports, I dipped out on the half.
On halftime?
Halftime.
I'm
You
impressed
didn't
you
even watch
made
all
it to
the- yeah.
halftime.
Yeah, I dipped down halftime because I'm watching this show about baking, and I baked a cake.
Yeah, and it was delicious.
Yeah, so I'm like, Chris and I watched like 4 or 5 episodes of the show, and I was like, it's like a Australian sweets cook-off show,
Right.
And I was like, kept saying, we got to cook something sweet
I wanna
because I'm
cook that.
dying here. So we literally ran to the store and got like cake mix and
I'm
got
impressed.
all this stuff.
Because
Yeah,
if I ran to the store, I would just buy something already made.
I've done that before,
Right.
but like it's just not the same. Like, and you know, let's just say like Duncan Hines knows how to make a box cake mix, and it
Yeah.
came out amazing.
Can never go wrong with the yellow cake mix from Dunkin'
What do you
Hines.
use as an egg substitution?
I
since you
used
don't-
egg.
Oh.
I used egg.
What?
I know.
I know. I was like, doesn't that violate your
and-
policy?
No. I mean, again, I'm plant based, so I'm a terrible vegan.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I'm a vegan that's not committed.
Right.
So anyway, so I wanted the cake to come out right. So I made the cake yellow, and then I put white icing on it. And I know that Kathie hates buttercream, and everybody always overuses buttercream
Yeah,
on
they do.
anything every way.
Right.
So they had a white frosting that was
the
just
basic,
a white
yeah.
frosting.
And it was still good.
Right.
It's
And-
still of a buttercream more than it is a whip.
I was looking for the salted caramel frosting, but they didn't have that.
And I think that would have overdone it.
No, yeah, on
'Cause
yellow?
yeah, because I think it was the perfect
Okay.
amount of sweetness with the topping.
For sure. That's what one of the judges on the show would have said. So I made a yellow cake. I put white frosting on it, and then I made a chocolate ganache to pour on top.
Yeah.
And it covered the whole thing. It looked like a big ding dong or a twink. You know what I mean? Like a
Right, like a chocolate
yeah, something.
Oh, like an actual ding dong, not
Yeah.
like a ding
Not
dong.
like the guys
It wasn't
Kathie used to date.
It wasn't like a big long pan.
Although it was similar. No. So yeah, like the way
It
you
was
make
around.
a ganache is you boil.
Ganache.
You bring
Yeah.
some heavy cream to right where it's about to boil.
Sure.
And then you stir in some bittersweet chocolate, a whole packet of it.
Okay.
And you just stir it and keep stirring it until it becomes this thick, chocolatey thing.
Sounds good.
And then you pour it on the cake. And look at this wig.
Ladleberry on baking.
Right, I know, but look, that's what the initial pour looked like.
Oh, that's cool.
It's on my Instagram. I used that.
No, it was so
Wow,
good.
Larry, you're really getting domesticated over there, bro.
I know, but
That's what I told him.
you have no idea. I've so upped my kitchen game. Like, I'm worried I'm going to, like, gain 50 pounds because I'm like, I'm cooking this. Chris is making that. He made chili. I made Spanish rice. What?
Right, you're the kid that brought lunch to school today.
Chris made me lunch to
Isn't that
bring today.
cute?
Wow.
And I always make his food for when he goes flying.
Yeah.
And so this was kind of the first he ever made me a to-go lunch. 'Cause
Things are
Ever?
changing.
kind of. Well, only because we eat weird hours, and usually we eat as a crew. So if we're going to eat something, we usually send out for it or whatever.
Right, you're covered. You don't
Yeah, I know,
usually
but
have to always have something.
I know, but I'm also that nice kid who's going to share my lunch with Kathie, and I also brought Wiggin some corn nuts.
Okay.
All right.
So what am I eating this morning?
A half a sandwich, which is faux meat with
Okay.
faux cheese.
Is it
You
the
won't-
bologna?
It's actually a turkey, a fake turkey.
All right, I'll try.
And then we have some of Chris's pasta salad.
I like that.
Which is amazing. It's
He makes
bow tie-
homemade?
Oh, so good.
Chris!
It's bow tie pasta. It's got like little mandarin oranges in it and craisins. It's unbelievable.
Larry,
Wait,
my father-in-law said to say thank you because now you've converted, or not converted, but my mother-in-law, who's a vegetarian, loves the fake bologna.
Oh, it's so
and
good.
said that you and Chris turned her on, so
So
now
good.
that's all she eats every
Yeah.
single day is just that fake
It's
bologna.
made out
so
of plants.
good. Yeah.
Oh my God.
What's the name of that brand?
Gosh, there's 2 brands. One's Tofurkey and then one's Light Life. But the other thing is that I made, I replicated, and my whole goal on this plant-based thing is to replicate all the meals that I loved so I don't miss anything. And so I took the Lifelite meat, made a spaghetti sauce, put fresh garlic in it, all this stuff.
Yummy.
And then I made my 2 pasta with the cheese, and I used the Dia fake cheese.
Right.
Mixed it all together, and there's no way in a million years anybody would be able to tell the difference between that and my old one.
I believe it.
And except that this new one doesn't give you heartburn. It's crazy because I think it was just the sausage and the pork that were giving me the heartburn.
Probably.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. I digress.
Well,
But
maybe
there are a lot of people converting. It is a trend.
It
Yeah.
is,
My
right?
section in
Especially-
the grocery store is getting bigger.
Especially since it's so many of the products taste good now.
Exactly.
'Cause
I can
remember like
replicate
10
nacho.
years ago, we ran into, or our old boss, remember, he'd be like, try this, it's the tofurkey.
and we were like,
"Bleh."
right.
So I think the products are getting much better.
Exactly. This will be my first Thanksgiving eating not turkey. It'll be my first Tofurkey Christmas.
So we're going for it. You know, Chris Parente is a vegetarian, so
Right.
he brought in what he ate last year
And?
for Thanksgiving. It literally is like a turkey in a tube.
Oh.
Like, I don't know if that Yeah, that's going to translate.
Well, I'm still
cover it in gravy.
I know, but yeah, good mashed potatoes,
Yeah,
still good stuffing.
You'll be good
it'll
to
all
go.
pan
Right.
out. Especially now that I found like an amazing breakfast sausage by Let Life, because that's kind of what my mom puts in her stuffing.
Uh-huh.
So now my stuffing's going to be like off the hook.
All right, well, you have 3 weeks to get your recipes ready.
Exactly.
Isn't that crazy?
Go tofurkey yourself, Larry. You know how Facebook gives you the, hey, this is your memory, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, right.
Right. So this was a couple Halloweens ago. This had to be maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe longer. This is Wig, Kayla, and I as Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one. That was...
Wig.
It was a yellow rum party
Yeah.
probably like 4 or 5 years ago.
I was going to say, Avery was just born, so it's probably 4. Yeah.
Right. And Wig is Jesse from Breaking Bad, and Kayla was the girl that puked in her own, that choked on her own vomit.
Yeah, she looked great.
Yeah.
Sarah? That
Was
wasn't her
the
name.
character's name?
Can't remember the character's name. I thought it was Sarah, but I don't think it was.
I love the actress, by the way, who played her.
Yeah, she had a show that flopped.
Right.
The Bleep in 42E, and that guy from
yeah.
Dawson's Creek was on it.
That's
and
right.
but he played himself, which was really weird. And then that
James Van
that show lasted like 1 season.
Yeah, she's unfortunately she's like had a couple almosts in the business,
Right.
And then they just kind of didn't pan out. Although Breaking Bad was a huge thing, she was in a movie with Alicia Silverstone called Vamps. And
Yeah, I didn't see that.
It's about vampires, right?
Okay.
So bring up the trailer if you can, Wig.
Okay.
It's called Vamps, right? And it's directed by the people who did Clueless.
Okay.
Okay. So when you look at the trailer, you're like, oh my God, this is like the perfect movie.
All right.
Because Alicia Silverstone is still adorable.
Uh-huh.
And she plays her like best friend. And they're roommates.
And they're vampires, or they just want to date vampires?
No, they're vampires.
Okay.
My name's Goody, and in 1841, I was bitten by a vampire. And that's Stacy.
Hi, Stacy. When I was a day player, I was doing a lot of E.
Look how cute she is. What are you doing?
Don't you hate it when you sprout fangs, parts whitened and the other parts dingy?
Running around to clubs and dating idiots.
A little bit won't hurt.
Staying young is getting old.
Morning.
Okay.
I met someone at school. He's goofy, but cute.
What's his name?
His name is Joey Van Helsing. What? What did your parents say about me?
She's exceedingly white.
So you don't like her because of the color of her skin?
He's undead!
You think everyone is a vampire?
The movie looks great, right?
How did we miss this?
I'll tell you.
Actually, it does look good.
No, it looks
Yeah,
really good, right? So I bought it. And it's terrible.
Which would be why we never heard of it.
Exactly.
Never, ever heard
I know,
of
but
it.
it had all the makings of a great movie. And if you keep going, Sigourney Weaver's like the villain in it.
Okay.
So it had like huge stars in it.
Yeah, totally.
It had everything it needed.
I
That's
love
what
all
I was
those
saying.
actors.
Yeah, exactly. More about that girl missing the boat.
If it's on Netflix or Hulu, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
But
for
I'm
sure.
not going to pay.
Well, no,
I can't believe you
I'll
bought
lend
it.
you my copy.
You bought an actual physical DVD?
Here's
Like you ordered it on Amazon?
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
and
Larry.
by the way, the only thing that really kind of blows it up is the special effects later
Okay.
get pretty janky.
And that's Larry Uleberry on movies.
What's coming up?
Coming up, Diddy changes his name again.
What?
You can't call him Diddy anymore.
Ugh.
He's got a new one.
And now,
All tea, all shade, hunty.
Celebrity Trashy Bash with Larry, Kathie, and Wiggins.
can I get an amen up in here?
Here's Kathie J.
In the land of sexual harassment we go.
Oh gosh, every day.
Every day.
And then it's like the more you learn about some of these guys, you're like, man, how do you harass that many people in a day?
Yeah, like-
some of these guys must just go to work, start grabbing boobs and penises, and just like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, like everyone that they were around, they thought they could touch.
Right.
That is what it seems like. So Terry Crews, in the beginning when all this happened, Terry Crews came out and said it doesn't just happen to women, it happens to guys too. I was touched by an executive.
Which is crazy because, I mean, he's like obviously like big and huge, and you'd think that he of anybody would be like, hey, get off me.
Yeah.
But like we said, when you're not expecting it,
You don't know
throws
how
you
to
off.
take it. And your job, your next meal, and Terry's got like 6 kids.
Right.
You know, your next paycheck
It's coming from this guy.
Can you handle it for 5 minutes while he fondles you? You know, like, it's so sad that that's what you have to think about.
So he said a man did that to him.
He said a man did it, but he never named the dude.
I'm all funny. He never reported the 12 women who did it.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's
For
only
real.
when you don't like it.
For real. It was
Right.
unwanted, this one.
Right.
So he has come out and named the person.
Whoa.
It's a powerhouse agent. His name is Adam Vanette.
A power top?
No, well, I don't know, powerhouse, but he's an old white dude. He kind of looks
They're
like
all
he's
old white dudes.
Well, this guy actually looks like he might be some sort of bodybuilder as well.
Oh,
Like, he
okay.
looks like he might be a big dude like Terry.
I wonder if the guy has like a wife and some kids, or if he's, just gay.
Yeah, I don't know. So Terry disclosed in a series of tweets that he was groped last year in Hollywood. So just last year. So he's an established
star. You figure once you reach a certain level,
you're past getting touched.
Right, because you're going to say something.
Apparently not.
Wow.
Last year, he was groped at a Hollywood event by a high-level executive. Terry Crews, wrote that he was at a function with his wife when this Hollywood executive came over and grabbed his privates, not his butt, his front, and that the alleged assailant grinned like a jerk at him. And then when Crews asked him, "What are you doing?" Okay?
So he's like, what do you say to that? Like, I
don't know.
I'm being impressed by your manhood?
This agent has clients like Sylvester Stallone, Diane Keaton, Eddie Murphy, Adam Sandler, Dustin Hoffman.
So he's top of the top.
He also oversees the mega agency's finances and distribution team known as WME Global. So he is top of the top.
I've always dreamt of being able to have the freedom to go around and touch guys' junk, but that was only in my fantasy, if I could freeze time.
Yeah.
I'm like, freeze the world.
Right, so
and then
nobody
you go
knew.
around. Right, exactly.
Right.
And what I would do if I could freeze time, I would push guys that are hot together and take their pants off and push them together and then unfreeze time, and they'd be all, what's happening? How did this happen?
Okay.
We're both naked.
That's still a kind of an assault.
But no, because they're not going to do anything. It was
You
frozen
just
time.
want them to wake up without their clothes on.
In the bed at the mall,
Together,
on display,
facing each
under
other.
covers,
Okay.
and then put them in a kissing way,
see that?
and then have their girlfriends position their girlfriends on the side of the window, so they'd be like, "What's happening?" And they'd be all, "I don't know."
The only way for your fantasies to ever come true now, or anyone else out there, you have to pay that person to play dumb.
Right?
Okay, because
exactly.
they have to sign some waiver.
Exactly. Why didn't all these powerful men hire girls to pretend they were afraid of their junk?
Right.
Because I
You
think,
could have found a guy in the gym that needed some money.
I think what we're finding out is that it's more about the whole catching people off guard.
That's what it is. It's the power of it.
Right, or
It's the
just
control.
Right, or making somebody nervous.
Like, what are you going to do? You can't do anything.
Right. Like, how do you get off on making somebody uncomfortable is what I don't get.
Sources close to the situation told Variety magazine that Terry Crews was preparing to name this executive, and the agency got aware of it, and they've kind of put him on leave. Adam Vanette is his name. Venit, if you want to look him up, so you can see who he is. But
Okay, so then I wonder, is he out of being Eddie Murphy's guy, and
I don't know. I think things are going to start falling, and he's going to not have any of it.
It's sort of hard. Like when you think about all these high level execs.
Yeah.
Like Harvey Weinstein, to me, when he was all, I'm still going to make movies and blah, blah, blah. It's like, clearly you've amassed a fortune.
Yeah.
Why aren't you just go away?
Yeah, like Harvey, go to an island.
Go away.
You have a lot of money.
You know what, though? He might not be going far because they're saying that there's some of these charges that might stick.
Yeah, that there are real,
Right.
it's a real case is what I last heard.
Right.
So, speaking of falling fast, whoop, Kevin Spacey. One day he gets accused of it. The next day, House of Cards puts their production on hold. The next day, more accusers come out.
Here's what my question is, and Wiggins, you might speak to this because I don't know if you both watch House of Cards, but don't you think they could get a great actor to take his spot and let the show keep going for all the people that are employed and the writers?
I don't know. They have to figure it out,
Yeah,
though.
because he's president in this season. So it's like, what are you going to do? All of a sudden, replace the president?
No, what I'm saying is, screw the storyline. They can figure that out. I'm saying there's got to be a great actor out there
to
like
play
him.
Kevin Spacey's part.
No, that can just take over the lead of that show. Like, in other words, okay, the president got killed and this is the new president or something.
Well, they only have one season left.
Oh.
Remember, they were ending the entire series next year, and they were filming that season
I was just
right
worried
now.
about all the people that worked on it that were going to get fired.
And I agree, and they all aren't getting paid right now,
Right,
all those
right.
people. And now Netflix has fired Kevin Spacey.
You figured that would have happened already.
No. He was going to star in a Gore Vidal biopic by Netflix. They scrapped the entire project.
Okay.
So in addition to saying House of Cards is on hold, they've even scrapped the next project that Kevin was about to be with.
Well, and then it's like, where does he go? It's like, because nobody's going to want to hire him.
Nope.
And it's like they showed Harvey Weinstein at some restaurant, and he asked for a private room.
And he had on a wig.
Right, and a hat.
And a hat.
And he asked for a private dining room, and they gave him one, but it was all encased in glass.
So
everybody's all taking
see him.
pictures. He was so mad.
It was awesome.
Right.
It was awesome.
You should just stay in your hotel room and order room service, idiot.
Exactly. Once again, Harvey, go away.
Right.
Don't be trying to have powerhouse meetings with people. Nobody
Right.
wants to be with you. The scandal with Kevin Spacey's moving so fast. There are 12 specific people right now who have accused Kevin of inappropriate sexual behavior in the past. Several of them were underage at the time. One of them, did you hear the newest one? Richard Dreyfuss, the famous actor.
From Jaws.
Yeah. His son got touched by Kevin Spacey while his dad
was in the room.
Richard Dreyfuss was
Okay,
in the
how-
room.
Weird.
So that's weird.
Isn't that horrible?
He said
That's
that
so blatant.
He groped him
Yeah.
in 2008 when the son was 18 years old, just turned 18 years old.
We're all, thanks for waiting.
But Richard Dreyfuss didn't see it
No,
happening,
he didn't.
and
So he didn't say
he
anything.
was so into his lines, and you're like, God, I hope so, because you're like, if he's just letting that go down.
No, he wasn't. So wait a minute. I mean, I would assume, but so the only thing that Harvey Weinstein could really do is start a production company, hire all these guys that are accused, and call it Pervert Pictures.
Harry Dreyfuss said the occurrence took place while his dad, Richard Dreyfuss, was rehearsing at Spacey's London apartment for a play. Okay, he said that what Kevin did was he slid his hand up his leg and grabbed his junk and fondled him while they were in the same room with his dad.
Okay, so what?
Right? Like, and what do you do? He said he didn't tell his dad at the time. He didn't tell
Because
his
you're
dad.
thrown off.
Yes, and he knew that his dad and this guy were going to be working together, and his dad was very excited about this new play.
He said
That
that
sucks.
he just made jokes about the situation because it's 18. You think
right.
you're just like,
Oh,
whoa,
yeah, there's
can you believe
such a
Kevin
feeling.
Spacey? And he just made jokes about it. But now he realizes, looking back, that it's like he was really touched.
Right, and how bold of Kevin Spacey to do that, like, so close to the guy's dad, and, risk the kid going, what are you doing, man?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, ruining his relationship or whatever project they were just about to do.
Right.
So he didn't care.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he didn't care, and didn't care so much. London police are investigating a 2008 sexual assault against Spacey.
Oh, okay.
So you know how Harvey Weinstein has serious allegations.
Right.
Spacey has serious allegations from someone in London at that London theater, whatever that he helped run for 10 years.
It makes sense now that, like, why they're, like, keeping an eye on Harvey, because he's, like, probably a flight risk in the sense that he has the means to go wherever.
He does.
Right.
Oh, yes, because the
Right.
legality of keeping him.
Right. It's like, that's when you find, like, we're looking for a fat white guy in Thailand. There he is.
There he is, right. And finally, Diddy has changed his name.
To what? Let me guess.
Okay.
He's been P. Diddy. He's been Puff Daddy. He's been Diddy.
He's been Puff.
Been Puff.
Yeah.
So Puff, Puff Granddaddy?
Puff Daddy make you crazy. It came on his 48th birthday.
Okay.
Okay. He said that he's just not who he was before. He's someone different now. So he wants a new name that reflects who he is now.
Okay, so you're still doing
Puff retired.
right.
Yeah, right?
Puff.
Puff billionaire.
Yeah.
He's still doing Cassie. We know that.
Right.
And he's still got his wife.
Right.
What's that got to do with his name?
So I'm just trying to say
he's
it's
just
the
trying to-
new him.
Yeah, right.
So maybe he's loyal.
But the new him, that he's older and he's got no cares in the world because he has so much money.
Mm-hmm.
So his new name is
Lazy.
Lazy Puff.
Right. Sleeping.
No, it's Love, a.k.a. Brother Love.
Oh my God, I knew he was gay.
Better than what I was thinking. I was thinking it was Puffy Love.
Right, yeah, Puppy Love you don't want.
That's if you're into fat chicks.
Right, I give Puppy Love. Diddy said, I've been praying on this, he explained, and I know it's risky. It could come off as corny to some people, but I'm just not who I am. I'm just not who I am before. I'm something different. So my new name is Love, Brother Love.
Brother Love. Huh. That's what I used to have for all the guys that went to my church.
But
Brother Love, hey, I love Brother Love.
I don't think he's getting the name Brother Love. I don't think he's getting the name because there was a wrestler named Brother Love. So I think he's like has to legally file to try to get that name.
No, he's probably spelling it Brother.
Oh, with an A?
Yeah, Brother Love.
It's an ER, but maybe that's why he said Love, a.k.a. Brother Love. He's hoping the Brother Love will just take off without him having to do a legality issue.
Who knows?
Or just switch it the other way and just be Love's Brothers.
Yeah.
Blazin' It Radio, Larry Ulibre, Kathie, Jay, and Wiggins.
Yeah, the phone lines are working, 303-728-3420. Call or text. You can use the app as well, and you can give us a shout-out and record a message, or use the app too in the iPhone to just call us directly.
You know when you're watching the news around this time of year, they always talk about, the busiest travel day is Thanksgiving, the busiest travel day, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
None of us really kind of have to worry about that because we're natives here.
Yeah, we kind
of
stay.
Part.
Right.
So
most of our family's here.
Right.
Well,
yeah, but I'm just glad that none of us have to worry about that.
Yes, but if you aren't like the rest of us here at the Blazin' Hit Radio, here are the best and worst days for you to travel.
Okay, this is to go see your kin.
Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of people are thinking about
they have to
taking the right vacation days and stuff. Okay, so The Insider studied the number, not the TV show.
I was like, The Insider.
No.
I love that show.
It's a website called The Insider. They studied the numbers from the Bureau of Transportation Statistics to find out the best and worst times. Here we go.
There's also a porn site called that, by the way.
The Insider.
Right. Inside her.
So it's spelled differently.
Right.
Okay.
Thanks, Larry.
So the best date, that's probably where something they need your credit card, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I've only been there once because it was a mistake.
Right, exactly. You typed it in wrong.
Right.
The best day to fly out is the Saturday before Thanksgiving.
Okay, and how many days is that before Thanksgiving?
That's kind of crazy because Thanksgiving is Thursday, so you're going out
early.
Saturday, right.
Right, and you know who made this list? Moms who want help in the kitchen.
Right. The second best day is actually on Thanksgiving.
Well, then
all the other days are going to be crowded as hell.
Oh my God, you can't travel on Thanksgiving because then you're the last guy to the house and everything's already picked over.
The worst days to fly are the Sunday and Tuesday before Thanksgiving, especially Tuesday night.
That's crazy. So Saturday, doable. Sunday, you're screwed.
Horrible. Monday, Tuesday, no way.
Right.
Wednesday, Thursday, good.
Right, and this will be like the first Thanksgiving in a while that Chris actually has Thanksgiving off.
Oh, good.
But then he flies the next day, so.
Well, bad news for him then, because Black Friday, Black Friday is the best day to fly.
Oh, okay.
So
it'll be a breeze.
You think that most people will be like, are we good? We had dinner? Okay, I'm out.
Right.
Like, my flight leaves tonight. Sorry, that's the way it is. Black Friday is the best day to fly. Saturday is the second best day.
Okay.
Which you think most people would have stayed through Saturdays.
Right.
See, I got this all wrong. I would have lost money on this. And the Monday and Tuesday after Thanksgiving are the worst times to fly home because they have the most delays. So people actually try to hang out through the weekend after Thanksgiving.
The airlines, I think, try to charge more after Thanksgiving because everybody's fatter.
They should.
Planes are heavier.
I was sitting in, was it United? Yeah, so I got to sit in the United, and I got to experience because they made their seats tinier or thinner.
Okay.
But whatever they did still made them comfy.
Okay.
So it still was okay for me.
Okay.
And United puts those things up in the headrest.
So you can put your head
that's the
back
best
and forth,
thing ever. Although I don't want to take a swab of it, whether or not that's clean.
I know, it's hard. But it's funny that you say that because Chris, my husband, works for United.
Right.
And, I was unaware of this just because obviously I'm not a frequent flyer, but the United clubs that you see at the airports.
Yes.
You have to have a card to get in.
The special doors.
Exactly. So Chris and I, last time we flew, we got to go chill in the United Lounge.
Oh, Oh, look at you.
Oh, my
What's in there?
gosh.
When the doors open, what happens? You get a hot
You
towel?
have to check in, and then they have to make sure that you're cool to go in.
Okay.
And then once you go in, you're like, where's the bathrooms that aren't crowded?
Like when Mr. Burns had his special bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. And then they just have like food, snacks, soda, like hors d'oeuvres, or what depends on what time of the day it is. If it's breakfast, then there's oatmeal and toast. And,
what?
Yeah, stuff like that. And fruit, fresh fruit. And
so it's like a little restaurant thing.
Yeah, but I mean,
give you
it's
something
self-serve.
to get by.
It's kind of like a continental breakfast for an airport.
Wow.
But if it's later in the day, you get like little later snacks.
Well, look at you.
I know, but hey, just so you know, that was my first time in there. So I was just like, it exists.
Right.
And so you realize, okay, this is why people, save their points, or people that fly all the time need a place like that.
Yeah.
To get away from the people.
Right. And the fact that every airport is now a mall.
Yes.
Have you noticed that? Like every decent
Overpriced
airport
mall
is a crazy mall now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this past time, it was like one of the first times I've really hung out on the B concourse. Usually I'm Southwest, so I'm C. But the B concourse is killing it where United is.
Oh, right.
I mean, oh my God. It
Right.
was like they had a huge food court upstairs. I'd never seen that before.
Go to the Miami airport, and it literally is an airport in the middle of a never-ending mall.
Wow.
And they have like regular stores that malls have. It's insane. Yeah.
Wow.
But that's just new airports. And that's Larry Uliberry on travel. Blazin' Hit Radio. Are you a nag hag? Like a nagger? Because here's the thing, sometimes when your wife or maybe your mom or something like that.
Yeah, nags.
Nags.
It's annoying.
I know, but then a lot of times I'm like, well, I guess if I would have done what she asked me, she wouldn't be nagging.
Okay, there is that.
Right.
Because I grew up, my mom is a nagger.
You have a mother nagger.
I do. To the point that my dad, one of the main reasons he couldn't wait to divorce her.
Because he's like, just please stop talking.
Exactly. And he went for the exact opposite for his next partner because he wanted someone that didn't care enough to nag. Like she loved him for who he was and didn't want to change a thing about him.
She saw him in the park. He saw her in the park, and she was using sign language. He's like, "That's the lady for me."
Right? All you
He's all, "I love you too. I'm glad we speak the same language."
And when she starts nagging with her hands, you just turn around.
Right,
you don't
exactly.
know.
You give her oven mittens. I can't hear you.
Right. And my mom, she nagged another boyfriend, and I would point it out. No one wants
getting
to hear
annoyed
you.
with them,
Yes.
or being like, you do this, you do that wrong. Why are you doing this?
it's a lot of there's a lot of passive aggressive. What are you wearing? Kind of things. Then there's you should do that. Well, if you would have done that, then I guess you wouldn't have this problem now.
Right.
Or if it's. Do you think that coat is a little too light? Maybe you should take a heavier coat. Like every single thing she has to have a comment on.
Can I just say this? Chris can get in that mode.
He can. His mom is like that.
Your husband, Larry.
Right. My husband can totally get in that mode. But I figure it's my job to snap him out of it.
Right.
And the best way I can do is start mirroring what he's doing to me.
Okay.
So I'll start nagging him and following him.
Okay.
And then he's like, oh, okay, I get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But sometimes
until you feel the nagging, the annoyance of it, you don't maybe understand it.
Well, and then seriously, it can blow into a big fight because I'm like, seriously, I've been home and you've already said 5 things.
Yeah, it gets
right. So it's like you're wondering why, and then top it off with this.
What?
And your mom probably did this, and Chris does that. They will nag you and take you to the edge of the cliff,
right?
And then go, what's wrong with you?
Oh my God.
And you're like, are you kidding me? What's wrong with me? You've driven me to insanity.
Right.
And now you're looking at me like I'm the crazy one?
Right.
No!
You are, Larry. It's you.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to deal with that with my mom because, she helps me with my daughters. Okay.
Oh, right. That's
so
right.
So now it's turned into there was one thing, I don't know what it was. It was a time to get pick up one of my youngest from the little school she goes to for a couple hours. And I was like, well, why don't you just, after her nap, blah, blah, blah. Then you go pick her up. Well, blah, blah, blah. She fought me. And finally I said, whatever you want, Mom. Whenever you want to go get her. If you want to go get her before the nap.
That makes him more mad.
Then it turned into, well, I don't have to do that. I was just suggesting it.
Then why? Exactly.
Why did you fight me for a day? And then when you finally cave, they nag about what you caved on.
Right.
So anyways, she's so annoying, but I have horrible news for people like me. If you have a nagger in your life and you can't stand them, you've been trying to correct them, Turns out people whose moms nagged them grew up to be more successful.
Right, because they were like, I got to get out of this house.
Well, I think you're on edge because you're like, God, I got to do this right, else I'm just going to keep getting crap for this.
No,
because that's what I did with my mom. My mom was like that, nagged about every little thing, except when instead of nagging, she would go into this like ultimate rage of like frustration where she would just like yell. So getting nagged at was more of just getting yelled at. So I was like, I'm just going to avoid getting yelled at.
I know,
okay, I could say it's made you do good things, make right decisions.
Done.
Well, no, it gets you to want to be successful so you can get out of the house.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, the sooner I sign up for college, the sooner I won't hear her.
You're right, Larry. People whose moms nagged them were more likely to go to college.
Right, I got to get out of here.
They were more likely to avoid making really bad life choices, and they have better paying jobs as adults.
All right, here's the deal. We're going to put this thing on our social media and on blazinhitradio.com, this thing that Kathie's talking about.
This thing.
And you're going to print it for all the moms who nag.
Yeah.
And then when your kids get mad at you, you're going to just give them a copy.
Yeah, because I guess I'm going to have to nag my kids. I try to give them a little bit more freedom because I know the annoyance of the nag.
Right.
But now maybe I need to be, well, I am up in there-ish all the time. But
No,
yeah,
for
but
sure.
they're young. I think now is going to be a problem because all the nagging moms who are listening, driving in with their kids right now, they're going to be like, see,
I told
it's
you.
going to make you better.
That's why I said print it out.
Researchers say no matter how hard we try to avoid our parents' recommendations, it's likely that they ended up influencing choices that we consider extremely personal. Whether you like it or not, your mom is in your head at all times, steering the ship. Even if you think you're an adult, your mom is still nagging you, and your conscience is picking up on it.
Here's what needs to happen.
That sucks. My mom will win.
What it needs to happen is, like, the dad needs to help do some of the nagging too, so the mom's not villainized. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true, and that'll never happen because the dad has to balance out the bitch.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if mom didn't have to do all the nagging and dad stepped up, she wouldn't come off as a bitch because now it's a shared thing.
See, and that was my mom's whole point. Is she was like, if you'd help more around here, I wouldn't be so tired and I wouldn't just be nagging all the time.
Right.
And dad gets to come in and be a happy, fun dad. And hey, what do you guys want to do? Let's go to the park. Even though mom's trying to make sure that they have good manners and that they're sitting with they're sitting in their chair properly at the dinner table.
I think that it's also possibly learned behavior and also genetic, because you know how like we say little girls automatically like princesses and unicorns and pink and castles.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And kitties.
Like, I feel that some people that came from a mom nag, they became the nag mom. You know what I mean? It was just passed off.
I know.
Generational, and it was learned.
Oh no, I hope not. Although,
yeah, but they're not learning it at home. If they pick it up, it's from Nana.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Because I do a lot of my mom would nag like, you need a coat, you know, and I'd be like, and so I'd go out with the coat.
That's a good nag.
With Avery, like Halloween night, I kept telling her, you need a coat. We went out, and she was, sure enough, she was freezing near the end. And I was like, so sad, too bad. You should have brought that coat I kept telling you about.
It was so funny, too, because when you guys got back to the house, I told Chris, he's like, oh, man, Avery was sure cold. And I was like, well, you could have given her the jacket you're wearing. And he goes, oh, I guess I could have. Bad gunkle.
See, that's the other side.
That's the non-nagger.
That's the not even there, except for a smile.
Right.
So give us a call, 303-728-3420, or text us, are you a nagger or do you get nagged, and has it made you successful?
Yes.
Right. Was your mom a nag? Are you married to a nag, which makes you a nag hag? Blazin' Hit Radio, Larry Ulibarri, Kathie, Jay Wiggins. We want you to call on the nagging topic. Were you nagged as a kid?
I think it's say call on the nag line. 303-728-3420.
Maybe you were, like you married a lady who started nagging you. I personally, when Chris nags, I try to get everything done that he's nagging about.
Okay.
So I can show him it's not about me doing these things. You wanted to nag anyway.
See, that's the whole reason why I'm so upset that this study is letting those people think that they have a right to nag, because the nagging is so annoying. And it makes you so ugly when you're the person that nags all the time.
For sure. And we're not going to hold it against Wiggins. It's his role here to nag us about doing this and email that and do this.
Man, Larry, if you don't email him more, I'm going to shoot you. And
it happens
if you don't find the right folder to drop stuff in, Larry, I'm going to be over this.
And you know what? I drop it in the right folder, and it's him that's like all lost.
No, don't act like you drop it in the right folder.
Now that there's a paper trail, and now I can sit there and go signed off on it, put it in the right folder, and then sometimes he'll look at the computer.
Do not switch this around on me.
Sometimes
that is such crap.
Stop. Sometimes, especially recently, he'll look in the thing and go, "It's not in here," and I'll go, "Yes, it is," and I'll show him exactly where it is.
Happened the other morning.
That happens all the time.
But he still doesn't email me. He's emailed me one time. He acts like all of a sudden I tell him to email me, and all these emails are coming through. He's asking for requests and things. We should be doing this. We should be doing that. I said send it in an email. He doesn't send in an email. So then I send the boss an email that says, "Hey, we want to change X, Y, and Z, and we need to change this," because he never sent the email. And then he gets on the phone with his boss. "Oh no, we don't have to do that. You're right. It's okay." And I'm like, "What?" I was like, "You were nagging me to get that done," and so then I make proactive steps to get it done, and then you backstep on it.
That's not true. Okay, first of all, he's dead wrong in what he's bringing up.
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't even that at all. What ended up happening was, as the conversation was happening live, I realized at that moment that it wasn't my perception. It was my perception of the situation and not what was actually being played.
Okay.
So therefore, I corrected my thinking during that call live.
Okay.
And so
which is a good thing.
The fact that I made that adjustment, he's all pissed because he likes to over email.
Okay.
He wants to
over email. You don't even email get involved on this.
What I'm saying is he was so excited to get on something and be like, "Oh, Larry has an issue with this." Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, right.
And that's fine.
Because you said 3 or 4 times that it needed to get done.
Larry.
And so you never sent the email. So finally I sent out the email to get it done. And then he switched around. And then there was an actual email that was sent after this conversation with the boss that said, "Well, maybe we should change a little bit of this on the imaging and how much imaging is played," which happened after the conversation. Can we just do stupid news? Because I am like,
Look, he's putting his hand on his hip like,
he really is.
Oh,
he has something to say.
Get it, girl.
But see, this is all because of the nagging.
Exactly.
Nagging drives people crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, quit nagging me to do something and then when you get on the phone with the boss. I'm the nagger because nothing gets done that needs to get done.
At least you can admit you're the nagger.
See, that's a mom. A mom would say, "I nag because nothing gets done. You're not cleaning your room. You haven't done your homework. I've asked you to clean out the fishbowl tank for 2 weeks."
And if you really judge this, let's say he was the mom and I was the kid, he would be in the wrong, because the thing is, I have stepped up and I have taken some of his cues and sent emails and done this, and I've tried to really be more of what he needs me to be.
You're making effort.
Get deeper in the computer and stuff like that. But instead of him going, "Okay, I'm going to perceive that as something moving in the right direction," he still wants to nag from ground zero.
Yeah, whatever, dude. You live in freaking Larry's world, man. Everything's only an issue when Larry's world is affected by it.
That's not true. That's not true. I just explained the whole thing to you, and you still want to flip it.
Whatever.
But I totally feel your frustration.
Yeah, thank you, Kathie.
Thank
you, Kathie.
The Wiggins, I feel it.
You're an over-nagger. You're the boy who cried nag. Now it's because you nag so much and cry about emails. Nobody hears you because it's all the same thing.
You don't even send emails or check your emails. So don't be lecturing me about telling people that they need to email too much. You know that people email like 1,500 emails like in a month, and you're telling me that, "Oh, well, you told me to email too much."
He wants an email when somebody farts. He wants to say, "Hey, you didn't email me about that fart."
Well, then it's just him sending himself emails then.
I don't care what they say about me.
And now,
I go dumb, I go stupid, I get crazy.
Come on and clap. It's Kathie J's Stupid News.
The nagging. Okay. A lady with cancer has months to live and gets saved by her ex's new wife. What?
Wow, usually they would be rivals.
Right, that's the last thing I want help from is her.
Was it a bone marrow transplant or something?
No. So, but really cool nonetheless. Okay. There's a 41-year-old lady. Her name is Nicola. She lives in England. And she was diagnosed with stage 4 cervical cancer. So that's really bad. She had like 4 months to live. So she did some research, found out there was a hospital in Turkey doing this advanced chemo treatments that might be able to help her, but it was like $165,000 for just like 5 sessions.
Dang.
Ridiculous. So her ex-husband's new wife is the one that stepped in to raise money for her to get those treatments.
Oh, that's nice. She's like, if she dies, we'll have to watch your kids all the time. We got to keep this bitch alive.
She said more like this, Larry, because they have her stepsons are this lady's 2 real sons.
Right. She's like, and I am not living with these guys full time. Get that bitch well.
She said, Nicole is an amazing mom and continues to put them first throughout all of this treatment. She deserves the chance to watch them grow into men.
She deserves to have a chance to watch them grow along with us.
Yes.
So
right.
not just us.
It's not just all us.
Right.
We don't need them full time.
Right.
Yeah.
So they raised enough money and
They were able to raise the money. The chemo treatments work too. So she is in remission. All of her cancer is completely gone. There is something out there for the rich people that help, you know, like, because you always think, if I had the money,
you could save somebody.
Right.
And the kids were a little sad because she's such a nagger.
Right,
They're
totally.
like, we thought she was on the way out.
Exactly. We were going to be good.
Took a turn.
Yay. A guy who repeatedly hired prostitutes to strip on his neighbor's porch gets 4 years in prison.
So he hired strippers to dance on his neighbor's porch. I think didn't we do a story on that?
Yes, so he just got sentenced.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it was back earlier this year. This dude his name is Douglas, and he's up in Nebraska.
Usually when you hire a stripper for somebody, they're appreciative.
Yeah, right, you'd think. But maybe not when it's 75 times in 4 years.
Huh.
You might get sick of strippers.
Right, like what was the point?
There was no point. That's the problem. He's 45 years old. Like I said, lives in Nebraska. So he kept hiring prostitutes to go to his neighbor's house and strip on their front porch. The hookers went there at least 75 times over the past 4 years.
She's like, well, if that's what you're paying for.
The neighbors said we never had issues with him.
Right.
We don't know why he would do it. And sometimes when the girls were done stripping, they'd go over to Douglas's and he'd get it on with them.
Right. So in other words, hey, I'll give you an extra $20 if you go
start
take it
stripping
off
over there.
So in other words, he's just hooker man.
There is something wrong with him.
Right.
Yeah. So he pled no contest to pandering in September, and he just got sentenced to 4 years in prison. One of the main reasons why is because while the cops were investigating him, they found some child porn.
What an idiot.
So he's just a crazy
weirdo
dude.
Bye.
Okay, maybe his mom didn't nag him enough.
Right, exactly.
What are you doing?
I know,
what are you on your computer? I'm coming in there.
In normal circumstances, if a neighbor wanted to buy you strippers, you'd be like, thanks.
Yeah, because I was wondering, what is a bad stripper?
Right. Are they methy?
Right.
Right.
No. Just okay. And finally, a lady faked her own death so she could go on the shopping spree with the insurance money.
Okay,
it doesn't work like that.
Right. I mean, that's probably a lot of hoops to jump through to try to fake your death. You got to come up with the body, and there has to be an autopsy.
No, she didn't do any of that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so there's a 49-year-old lady from Virginia. Her name is Alexandra.
Okay.
Alexandra died 2 years ago. She didn't really die. So she faked her own death to get the insurance claim. She went to Washington State. She lived in Virginia. Went to Washington State and legally changed her name. Once that was cool,
okay,
she and her husband Albert, so Alexandra and Albert, they decided to, submit the life insurance,
Right, in other words, my wife has passed.
Yes.
Here's the picture of the funeral.
They came up with
Here's the flyer that we made at Kinko's.
Yep, fake death certificate, published a death notice
Who
in the
would do
newspaper.
Me and Larry.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
That sounds very familiar. But it wasn't for either of you, of course.
That was how we learned Photoshop and that I could produce. And
right, and we learned how to make fake images, and we realized that, if you Google old lady, a bunch come up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then you're
and also you two dangerous together. That's what we learned on that. Because you got away with it, didn't you, Wiggins?
No, I didn't graduate because of it.
Oh.
It had a lot to do with that.
You got caught?
Yes.
Oh.
Because it's a long story. We don't need to rehash it. But I
remember we were going to have ice cream with that meth listener.
Ben.
Yeah.
Ben.
And then basically she bought into that, but then I really bruised my ribs playing basketball, and so I had another reason why I couldn't come in. So she didn't believe that. So she decided to call the church and see if my grandma really died. And so there was no Wiggins there who died, and so she
and that's when you're supposed to get a lawyer and say, listen, bitch, her last name wasn't Wiggins.
Yeah.
It was Garcia.
Yeah. Karma. But here we are. I wouldn't have known I could produce or do graphic design without that.
Right.
So.
Hey, he's come full circle, jerk.
With your help, Larry.
I'm always there for you.
So, they actually submitted the claims for her life insurance, and they got the money.
Okay, so I mean, I would imagine like they had to dummy up a death certificate of some sort.
Yeah, they did. They faked up a death certificate, published a death notice in the newspaper, and submitted claims for the life insurance. They get the money back from the life insurance, and what would you do? You know what? I'm now a legal resident of Washington State. Let's move.
Right.
We got money. Let's go.
Right. I dye my hair and.
They bought 20 fancy cars.
What?
And when they couldn't afford some of them, they used fake checks. And then they flipped idiots. And then they flipped the cars as collateral for loans for more cars.
So were they trying to open a dealership?
I have no idea, but you're an idiot. Like the cars lose their value. Like if you get that kind of money, do real estate.
I think I know who these people are.
Why?
Is this the Shagman, Audra, and Officer Odell? Sounds like a scam.
Okay, so cops were able to figure out what was happening pretty quickly. Alexandra and Albert both pled guilty to several charges, including bank fraud, counterfeiting, and mail fraud. Blank fraud. But now they do have somewhere to live.
In jail.
Wow. They're each looking at up to 30 years.
She should be thankful. She was dead.
Yeah, right? She's alive.
Right. Every day's a whole thank you. Blazin' It Radio, Larry Ulibarri, Kathie J. Wiggins. I have a question. Can you deep fry a tofurkey?
I would go for it.
I don't even know what tofurkey is, so I'm going to say
is
no.
the fake
Yeah, but it
meat.
doesn't come as a giant turkey.
No, it comes in a Jello
loaf. And it comes in a loaf.
Yeah.
You know?
And it makes that when you pull it out of the can.
Like...
Right, with all that gelatinous stuff.
Whatever. I'm not afraid of it. Actually, they make amazing products, actually.
So,
the tofurkey people.
You know what?
So you can go tofurkey yourself.
Your sister does fry turkeys, right?
Right, no, and that's the whole thing, because...
I'm sure they could drop the loaf in.
Well, the whole thing is I'm trying to learn to replace the meals that I like.
Uh-huh.
And so turkey's a big thing. Like, that's the whole main thing of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So, like, when I realized that tofurkey was actually delicious and tasted like turkey, I was pretty cool with it. I just don't know if I'm allowed to fry it.
So you've tried the tofurkey?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
They make all kinds of stuff. They make, like, Italian sausage, they make lunch meats, they make all kinds of stuff.
My favorite all-time meal, and if a restaurant has it, I get it every time, is the open-faced hot turkey sandwich with the gravy
so delicious.
And the bread. But it's about the turkey. It's about how it's sliced.
Exactly.
I need it shredded and real turkey, like,
right.
But not like deli slices of turkey. Gross.
The people at Arby's, they have a commercial where they show a turkey being fried and then pulled out.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, this is how you fry a turkey. And then underneath it's like dramatization, because that's not how they fried it. Right. It was fried in some warehouse somewhere or whatever.
Yeah, there's no fryers back. Well, I don't know. I don't think.
It looks like cut turkey. It really does.
Yeah.
So they have the meats, but.
They do have the meats.
They have the meats. And I really thought Ving Rhames was the perfect person to replace Mufasa.
He was.
In The Lion King. Turns out Mufasa's still alive.
Yeah, Mufasa will replace Mufasa.
Right.
So 303-728-3420. We talked earlier about how if you were nagged by your parents or your mom, that you became successful in life.
More successful than others, yeah.
So we got into some discussions, and some people text us. One person says, my husband and I just had this discussion this weekend. He said, all I do is nag, nag, nag. I said, you asking me to, I said to him, you asking me to help stuff isn't nagging. Usually if he doesn't, I just do it. But I told him, believe me, if you want to see nagging, let's do it. He walked away.
After he said it's how I call his name, he said it sounds like Carol yelling Harold's name.
Harold? Harold? Harold! Yeah, the problem is the nagging usually comes in a series of nags. So in other words, like it'd be one thing if it was like, hey, can we get that one thing done? Well, now you've piled 4 things on the nag list.
Right.
And now you're complaining about 2 other things.
Exactly.
Now you're just a bitch.
See, and that's what I know a lot of moms
pick and choose your battles.
Well, a lot of moms walk that line because a lot of times the dads are in and out, whereas mom has a lot more of the responsibility just placed on her just because that's how it lands, and I hate it being the mom.
Because it makes you bad cop.
It does, and we're sick of being bad cop, but yet we want to make sure that you understand those are the wrong shoes, or those are, like you need a warmer coat. You got to take your lunch. Like, sorry, I'm nagging you to be a better person.
I know, but Kathie, you're bad. You had to be bad cop, but it's cool because you look good in cop pants and that belt.
Right. I'm always popping a button.
You're not TSA.
This text says, my dad's the most controlling person on the planet. I've fought it for years and finally realized I have to just nod and change the subject. His damn voice is definitely in my conscience, though.
Totally. And my mom's is in my conscience. Like her, I have to deal with her every day. And I finally, like I'd say a couple of months ago, just started getting quiet around her. Like when she starts nagging, I just shut down. Just my dad used to. Like my dad's famous lines to my mom were, "Yes, dear." Because he was sick of it after
And you just wanted her
years.
to be quiet.
So now I'm like, "Yes, Mom."
Right.
And so now she's like, "Well, did I do something wrong? You just aren't communicating with me
So
like
you sound
used
just
to."
like your father.
Right. And no, I did tell her, I go, "No offense, Mom, but I'm just going to respond to you the way Dad did because that's the only way I can deal with your nagging."
You're so lucky she hasn't downloaded the Blazin' Hit Radio app.
I said it to her face. I mean,
Right.
but it is so annoying.
And the truth be told, people that get to a certain age or whatever, like they're always going to be them. They're never going to
And
change.
she's not going to change.
Right. It's like people with Trump. They're like, oh, he'll phone into this or he'll know he's rude or this, that, the other.
No.
He's always going to be that way.
Yes, he's always going to be that guy.
Good morning. Shout out to the North Glen Jets, undefeated Coal Creek 7th grade champions.
Yay!
Hey, we have a football win. Yay.
Yeah, someone in Colorado was winning something.
Way to go. Ready to represent North Glen Jets.
Yeah, we're getting behind you this season.
Someone says go Wiggins for our conversation, Larry. So just saying, no, I don't see a go Larry text up there yet.
Yeah, you know why?
I don't
Because
see-
you deleted it.
I don't see a go Larry either.
Whatever.
someone
Oh, my
loved-
God. I'm willing to dissect
here
that
we
whole
go.
topic.
Of course you are, because no one's defending you.
Look, that Mom and Dad are fighting again. Stop.
Yeah, Wiggins, when he and I fight, it's like somebody hit Mom at the dinner table.
Right.
It's
and then,
like real
Hit her,
awkward.
killed Mom. Like,
no, Mom was fighting back.
oh yeah.
This one on the text line. No more fighting, you guys. Need some meditation. You can tell you guys are all on each other's nerves for a couple weeks now.
Okay.
No, this is really us.
All the time. And
Yes,
here's the thing.
whoever that is, this is us.
I'm with them as far as like we need to make up and get past it. So I'm all about like makeup hugs.
You're right. Yeah.
This person says we're both naggers.
Both of you are naggers.
And
It's
are you
hilarious.
arguing over email ratio? # first world problems.
Totally.
Come on. My mom used to make, when my sister and I would fight, she'd make us go on our knees face to face until we made up.
See, that's a good thing, and I make my girls do that. Like
All right,
when they
come on, Wig.
No,
No,
I'm not
no.
making up with you because you don't admit fault.
Oh,
I'll take half of it if you take half of it.
what half are you taking?
I'm just saying, like, I'll take 50% of the responsibility, and you take the other 50, and then we'll meet in the middle.
Okay, is this because you want to be able to get on your knees and?
No, I don't want to argue anymore.
Oh,
We're not arguing.
I know, but I just, I just.
Yes, Larry. Yes, dear.
You were just having a
I've been waiting for that for like 5 years for him to say yes, dear.
Walking away now.
Finally, Larry, you win.
Yeah, look at him walking away.
Yep. All right.
Okay. That's what's wrong. The nagging and the sexual harassment.
Right, it's a weird combo.
Yeah.
But I wish he'd stop.
Oh, yeah,
well,
that's me.
No.
All
Did
right.
you really say 1,500 emails a year or?
A month? Oh, I have in my email thing, I have 65,000 emails total.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And Larry,
So-
you get excited if you send him one. I sent you that email.
I've sent him. We can go back. There's an actual record of how many emails I've sent you.
You're inconsistent with
but
it.
I know, but you like to say
There's
you
a
want
regularity. No, let me
there's a-
talk
but
now.
listen,
You just went off for a
listen,
minute.
There's a reason.
Okay,
There's
all
a
right,
reason.
down the middle.
Okay, there's a reason that he wants to go. He's only emailed me once because that furthers his argument, even though that's not true.
It doesn't.
Okay, now-
it
now
does-
wait, now
there's
you
a
can talk.
What I'm saying
no,
is
you
this-
don't let anyone talk. There's a regularity to
talk.
emails. There's a regularity to email and the way business is done. Don't sit here like you're the guy who all of a sudden I've started emailing being great. For years,
I know,
people
but you
have been
can't-
responsible
Larry
for
said-
emailing.
Larry did
and
say in the argument,
he is
recognize
trying
he's getting better.
He is trying to get better, but now all of a sudden you're gonna
That tone. Listen to him.
now all of a sudden you're gonna act like
It's a little higher.
nagging.
It goes up
No,
in a
it's
higher
just
pitch.
it's just so annoying. Anyway, my whole point is
Anyway, exactly.
You,
He's all
want to
gonna stop you from
exaggerate
talking.
things, and you want
Yeah.
to steer the argument by using false facts.
Oh, okay.
If you want to say, "Oh, Larry was only emailed me once," which then, of course...
I've never said email me once. You email me a handful of times. Versus how many emails are sent out in a day, you barely respond to them or reply. And you can't say that you do it. There's things sent from Aldo. There's from the executive.
In the beginning of this
you don't let anyone talk except for yourself. You just like to hear yourself. And
I'm
you don't
so glad I'm not in this. This is just making me happy.
In the beginning of the conversation, he likes to paint it a certain way.
Right.
And if we listen to the audio back...
Love to hear you lecture like that.
How do you think I feel to hear you lecture me?
Okay, we need a gavel. We need a gavel. What I would like to say to both of you is, you guys are actually doing what each other has been nagging you about. You need to recognize it and accept the baby steps that are finally happening in the right direction. Progress is progress. It's going in the right way.
All right, and that's it. And we're ending it there. Kathie's right. We're ending it right there. Yes,
dear. Yay! Yes. Wait, are you yes-dearing me?
Yes, I'm just saying yes, dears.
Okay.
We're walking away. Turning.
That's fine. That's fine. Clearly, we are done with this argument on the air. If you'd like to hear us argue off the air, call 303-728-3420.
Whatever we do off, we do on. That's who we are.
I'm just saying, I don't need the argument to stop just now.
All right, we're trying to wrap it up. You keep on going. Got to have that last word.
So you want something else to say, Larry?
You know what?
You can't have the last word.
My husband made me lunch, and I'm going to go eat it.
Go eat it.
Go eat.
Yeah, I will. I saw this in the news, and I wanted to bring it up to you. And hopefully, we can post a picture of this lady.
Okay.
Her name is Jocelyn Wildenstein.
Okay.
It's a Jocelyn, and then it's Wildenstein.
Okay, so
she's the lady.
Is she part of the Wildensteins of the Hamptons?
Yeah. She is rich, and she's a socialite, whatever.
Okay.
But she's also the woman who had the plastic surgery to make her look like a cat.
Oh, that lady.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, that's her.
Is that in recent photos?
Yeah, these are recent photos.
God, she looks disgusting.
Right. So she got in a actual physical fight with her boyfriend. And they both got arrested. And I just wanted to point out that to all the women that are listening that are single, this bitch has a boyfriend.
Yeah, but she's rich.
Right, the rich helps.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
So if you don't have a boyfriend, you're telling everyone out there to make money?
I'm just saying, it's just sad that like there's so many people, girls on social media that are like, when will I find him? Why can't I find him? It's like, and she found someone.
You used to say that with Honey Boo Boo's mom.
Right.
You used to be like,
she
Mama
found someone.
Bear.
She got a
what
boyfriend.
The hell was her name?
Yeah, Mama June.
Mama June
she
had somebody.
Sugar Bear.
Right, Sugar Bear.
Right. It's
who
like,
wasn't the best catch, but I liked him.
Right.
When I watched the show, I liked Sugar Bear. I wondered why the hell he was with that whole crew.
It's got to kill you. You know what I mean? You just can't find him. You can't meet him. No guys like hit you back. You go out on Tinder. You put yourself out there. Nobody's hitting you up.
Right.
And a beast like this.
Literally.
And the thing
her
is,
face is nasty.
She actually used to be really beautiful, but the problem is she's 74.
Oh.
So when you try to fight aging that hardcore, you're gonna fill your face with Fix-A-Flat.
Yeah, and that looks like that's what's in her face.
Right.
That's so sad.
It really is sad.
Is she somebody that's happy with her face, or is she?
I think she's just stuck with it. Like, I think she's done so much surgery, and I think that her thing was like, well, my eyes kind of look like a cat anyway. Maybe I'll just say I'm a cat lady.
Yeah.
Is that what she says?
I think that's what she rolled with a long time ago.
Yeah, that was her whole thing, was like, I'm going to have surgery so I look like a lion.
Okay.
Was her whole thing.
Right. That's what, with her light hair. So wait, so they're at the picture you pulled up is her and this boyfriend.
Right.
And they totally look like they're having a close romantic discussion at a lunch. Like, so somebody has to lean into that and look it in the eyes.
I know,
and not go and not scream.
Here's the thing. He's no win either.
Oh, he's
like,
not?
if you look at his
From
face.
here, he looks okay.
Right. No, because you can't see his face.
Okay.
But he's almost just as bad. He kind of looks like
He's a plastic surgery guy?
Yeah. Who's the actor? Mickey Rourke. He kind of looks like him.
Oh.
Oh, I thought Mickey Rourke was her boyfriend. I was like, that's gross.
That's bad.
Yeah, I know.
Are you going to pass that doobie or what? The Cannabis Chronicles.
Get it out. Shout at the rooftops. This is great.
Well, it turns out not only we think it's great, a congressman thinks it's great.
Yeah, finally, there's a politician that's going to bat for pro athletes who want to get high medically.
Right, for sure. And it's like, it's always going to be the debate between pharmaceuticals and something that's a little more plant-based.
Yes, right.
And the thing is, the pharmaceutical companies are spending tons of money to try to flip it so people don't realize that, or they want to stigmatize the plant versus what they have put out, which is a big, giant opioid addiction.
Yeah.
And because everybody got addicted to pills and those are harder to get, now they've made basically a whole generation of people addicted to heroin.
Yeah, right, because they couldn't get the pills. You know what's wrong with this country, and I said it all weekend? I know somebody that is a pill head that just got a job, passed the drug test and just got a job, and because they don't get high, they use these pills. Like, I've seen this person to the point where they couldn't even drive their own car.
Or have a conversation,
But
right.
they have a conversation, yeah, something that easy. Eat a piece of cake. She was falling asleep in the cake.
Right, now
And
they're a
it's like-
forklift operator.
Right. Well, thank God not that. But
Right,
yeah, but
right.
it's like, you can pass the drug test? Are you kidding me?
Right. It's like now you're driving a Mack truck up in 12 gears.
But because a doctor
Right.
gave her this prescription, everything's cool, man. There is a lot wrong with this country.
Well, and then it also sucks that the sport that is making people they're showing the after effects of playing football for all these guys. So you're like really jacking them up long term.
Yeah.
And then you're not letting them have something that helps them while it's happening.
Exactly, because the pills have a side effect.
Right.
This is something that they're just using to help them with their brain, whatever's going on up there, or their body
help with the
aches.
inflammatory
Their
body aches. Yep.
Right. And opioids, like Kathie says, there's a side effect in the sense that not only are you on these pills, now they're making you a jerk because you don't have the pills, and now you're pissed off half the time.
Right, exactly.
And it's affecting everybody, and yeah.
So it's a representative out of Oregon, a Democrat, and he says, Representative Earl Blumenauer.
Well, I have the whole audio right here.
Okay, go for it.
Well, what we're seeing is that there are a number of professional athletes, professional basketball, football, who choose to deal with the really terrible pain of their profession using marijuana for medical purposes. And it's much less damaging than the opioids, the painkillers, the shots, the pills. And it's time that professional sports stops punishing them, but work with them, because it's healthier for them than what's going on now, and it's where the rest of America is. Over 2/3 of Americans have access to medical marijuana, and the NBA and the NFL shouldn't be second-class citizens.
And they've been looking the other way the whole time anyway.
Yeah.
Because we've partied with enough of these guys to know that they've been smoking herb for a long time.
Right, they just know when to get clean before the test comes.
Exactly.
Right.
Or they've worked in their contract where they get a big notice that that's coming.
Exactly. Well, Earl says that the NFL and NBA are treating players like second-class citizens for taking away their rights to get high medically and help their pain however they feel is the best procedure to do that. He also says that it's a lot less damaging than the opioids, the painkillers, the shots, the pills, all the stuff that they have to take. It's time professional sports stops punishing them and works with them.
Right. It's just the stigma of pot was that like in the 50s or whatever, they wanted to clump it together with everything else.
Right.
And that's the way it went. And so all of a sudden, you're getting these huge jail sentences for something that's so trivial that now is legal.
Exactly. Even Dr. Oz, his stance was always no on the marijuana to use it. But now, when he was just recently here, he was on the Everyday Show, and he was saying that he doesn't mind actually people getting off opioids to use that as the gateway drug to get off of them.
For sure.
And
so,
that's something that he never used to say, but he's seen enough of the positives that he's going with it.
Absolutely. And if somebody's like determined to segue into something crazier, everybody wants to say, oh, it's a gateway drug, marijuana is. It's like really kind of a beer is the first thing anybody experiences, or liquor as a mind alterer. And so that it really just doesn't stand. That argument doesn't stand,
Yeah, I agree. And then the weed, there's so many other awesome products.
Oh, yeah.
I went and got the balm.
Right.
Because my back was hurting.
Right.
And then my husband came home from destroying a house and he was in pain. That stuff is amazing. So much better than Icy Hot could ever hope to get to.
Right. Like, sorry, Shaq. We don't want to smell like old lady.
Right. But no, stuff like that. I mean, there's so many benefits. And so I'm blessed to be in a state.
Right, where we're spearheading the effort.
Exactly.
All right, Broncos, you're cool.
No,
if anybody needs it, it's you guys, or it's the fans. Hey, next week we're going to be teaming up with Food Bank of the Rockies and the Green Solution to help raise some food for people for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And so we're going to need your help. We have our big bus that we have, the
mobile studio, the Green Solution mobile studio. Yep.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to fill that with food, and we're going to go to different Green Solution locations, and you're going to be able to stop by and bring some canned goods and get a discount
and
while you're there.
You guys, meet Larry and Kathie and myself. We'll be out there, so you could actually say what's up, drop off the cans, and if you drop 10 cans, you'll actually get a coupon to get a discount on your purchase at the Green Solution. Got to be 21 and up, but they'll hook you up.
Right, and it's like, everybody life gets so busy, you take for granted that, I'm going to have Thanksgiving, I'm going to go over to this person, or I'm going to make this. Not everybody has food for Thanksgiving, so it kind of makes your Thanksgiving a little extra special when you're knowing that, hey, I took the kids, we gave, so we helped, I gave them an example of what to do, and so it makes you feel good inside about your Thanksgiving.
And it's going to be here sooner than you think. Like, the holidays are going to be here in a blink of an eye, so take advantage of this time next week, and please go and get some food and bring us some to help the people.
Right. We'll have all the details coming on where we'll be and how you can help.
Yes. So I have to read some of the texts coming in. People are loving the fight going on. Why do you love it when we fight? Why do you want to put us through this misery? This one says, you both are naggers. To you and Wiggins, Larry.
Exactly.
This one says, when
Kathie, you nag my back, I'll nag yours.
All day long. This one says, when Kathie talks about food, it makes me so horngry. What was I talking about?
I don't know, but you and I can go on and on about that.
Food,
like, we could seriously do a whole break just based on cookies.
Yeah,
or we could do a whole break based on, our fast food.
Right. Oh, my God. My husband just came back from New York, and he brought the Jack's Cheetos.
Okay.
The Jack's, yeah.
Look, he just brought them. He brought them via cop.
Yay!
Wow, Mr. Christian, thank you so much,
Thank you
buddy.
so much. Thank you.
Wow, talk about a police escort.
So there's this they're called Jacks, and they're baked Cheetos, okay? Baked cheese puffs.
Right.
So, Larry's always like, are these better than Cheetos? And I'll be like, yes. Are these better than these puffed Cheetos? I'll be like, yes. So I'm going to bring them in, and we'll do a taste test tomorrow.
Right. I ate a regular puffed Cheeto, and it was just one Jack off.
Okay, this one says, Larry and Wiggins, please go upstairs and smoke a blunt and invite me.
No, Wiggins doesn't smoke flower. He's a smoke snob. Mm-hmm. He only does wax.
I'm actually trying to quit altogether, and just I'm kind of want to see what that's like. I've done it for so many years. I'm ready to see how that goes. Yeah, thumbs up, Larry. I'm ready for that.
I've heard people say, that like I quit just to make sure I didn't need it.
Well, yeah. But sometimes you really have to just clear your palate.
I get that.
And then some people that are like, you have to encourage people that say, hey, I'm not going to drink for a month. Good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
This one says, round 2, fight. Woot, woot. Go, Larry.
Well, no, they know if they say go Larry, they're going to be like, get their ass kicked by Wiggins.
This one says, make it stop. You guys are traumatizing Kathie. No, actually, when one of us is not in the fight, the other one is so happy and in a
right, because they can just do regular stuff. It's like the other two are fighting. It doesn't involve me.
Nope.
Phew.
It's good to go.
In fact, I think you two should get into it. Give me a break.
Love you guys. You sound like my husband and I. Wiggins, I feel for you.
Wiggins is always on his man period. Wiggins. And he's always, ever since we worked with him, there's always somebody that's just got his ire. So there's always
somebody just said go Larry.
Oh, no, I'm saying to him.
I know, but someone said go Larry too. Why didn't Wiggins come out and go, there's always somebody that wants to support Larry?
Oh, no, I don't care about that. I'm just saying, since we've started, there's always somebody that's the target.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right. Mm-hmm. This one, Marissa, my boss is a nagger. Imagine how lucky I am.
That's when you have to either assess your situation or give them nothing to nag about, even in a husband-wife sense.
Right.
I've been with Chris where he's in the mode. of nagging.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, oh man, I'm totally just going to go 3 steps ahead and eliminate anything he can nag you about. Then you really see the nagger get frustrated.
Yeah, because they have nothing to nag. Yeah, I mentally prepare myself if I know I have to work with my boss all day. Like you said.
Right.
You have to like do whatever to make sure the nagger can shut up.
Right.
This one says, oh my God, you guys are killing me. You guys are very passionate. That's why I love you.
Exactly. I mean, we both feel strongly about the other one being wrong.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yes, dear.
Hey, at least I can come in here with a smile on my face every morning and be like, hey, what's up, everybody? I don't come in like I'm on my man period. I mean, we are in the entertainment business.
So you're taking a dig right now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's just, but it's like somebody has to hold up the fun for the show when somebody's grumpy the whole time.
Here.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about you. This does not involve you. You're in the free fun space.
I am in the free fun space,
Right.
which is good because I could try to remind you to. Let's all be happy. This one says, damn, guys, chill out. Kathie, do you go get him a Snickers? If I got him a Snickers, it wouldn't make it back here.
Right.
I would eat the Snickers.
Hey, you brought us a Snicker wrapper. What's this for?
It says satisfies.
Hey, listen, I tried to do the kneel and work it out, but...
Okay. No, you didn't.
I did. I said, my mom makes me and my sister do that. And he's like, I got to do that.
Well, right, because with you, then you're going to get your nose
Kevin
to nose
Spacey.
and you're going to try to kiss him.
No, I'm not.
You
I don't
wouldn't?
ever try to kiss him. I don't reach for his butt. Nothing like that happens. I'm just trying to make up so we're not on our man periods.
This one, Marissa, thank you for asking how I am. I'm feeling so much better, so much better. It was a bad recovery.
Right. You had like some sort of infection in your kidney.
Both kidneys, yeah.
Right.
It was bad. So, yeah.
That's what happens when you drink vodka through a lady product.
Okay. I didn't
that one
do
not
that.
that? Okay.
No. But it just reminds me, because in all honesty, I've been on a downward spiral this whole year, I think. And I ended up in a depression that I couldn't get myself out of. Like, if I was with you guys, I was happy. And if I was working every day, I was happy. But once that ended, I just wasn't happy. And when you can't pull yourself out of it, you know that it's getting bad. And so it was that. And then I just wasn't taking care of myself. I started getting pains and I'd ignored them. And it's like I wanted to hurt myself and I ended up doing it. And so it was a bad thing, but it was a good wake-up call, and Saturday night I had to come to Jesus, and I think I'm going to be okay. I'm okay.
Kathie had to come to Jesus, but she got his answering machine. Please leave a message.
Jesus will be right with you.
Sorry, mailbox full.
Oh, I hope it shows that I called at least.
This Savior's phone mail is not yet set up. Blazin' It Radio, Larry Ulibarri, Kathie J. Wiggins. When the Broncos lose, I kind of just avoid social media because everybody's sad and then the haters come out. And
right.
And like Wig posted yesterday, it's hard to talk crap about another team if your team's not doing well.
Totally.
So it just turns me off of social media on a Sunday.
I totally agree. And it's not like we're leaving our team. I'm still a Broncos fan. I'm still, ride or die for the orange and blue, but it hurts.
No, for sure.
To see him this bad.
Everybody's got their pain level, their threshold of what they can take.
Right.
And then it's on to Stranger Things season 2.
Right, exactly. I was so sad yesterday that to see them performing like that. What was happening? It was like some high school football team out there up against the pro.
I didn't understand it either. It was so frustrating.
The Eagles are really good, though.
Yeah,
they're really a good team.
They're 8-1.
Yeah, that's it. It's the Eagles' fault for being so good. No, I agree. I mean, in other words, at least that makes sense as opposed to we are the worst.
Okay, well, so who are we playing on Sunday then, Larry?
Some jerks.
Definitely.
Yeah. Raiders.
Nope.
Oh, Patriots.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big
And
jerks.
it'll be here.
Right.
So we're all going to get to see it live in person.
Well, hopefully tickets
when
are
we
cheaper.
Get hurt.
If they're this bad, tickets should drop in price a little bit.
Do
they?
Sometimes.
I don't know. It's the Patriots.
It just depends because it is
People
the
will
Patriots.
still pay to go.
Yeah, the
see
Patriot fans will go because they'll want to see them win.
So
that
it's just
could be painful.
It's going to be a painful Sunday.
Maybe we'll snap out of it
in a week.
We'll do Larry Ulibarri in sports, and I'll tell you the whole thing.
Oh, good.
Of what we need to do.
Okay.
Well, we already did Larry on sports.
No, we didn't.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, we started out. Remember?
Yeah.
No, it was just you and I fighting about the sports. Okay.
Right. It wasn't the official feature.
Oh, my bad.
Okay.
Well, coming up in Trash and Bash, I'm going to let you know which songs made it in the Smithsonian for the Anthology of Hip Hop and Rap.
Oh, cool.
One of them is going to make you go, are you kidding me?
It better not be TikTok by Kesha.
No, it's not that one.
Oh, thank God.
But it's one that's just as cheesy and catchy.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
And now,
invasive, violating, and just disgusting.
it's Celebrity Trash and Bash.
With Larry, Kathie, and Wiggins.
It's really disappointing. They're just looking for the wrong photo.
Here's Kathie J.
Hey, speaking of, since that was Selena Gomez,
Yeah.
I know everybody's all like, oh, it sucks that she's with Bieber.
It does suck.
But I think, like, they
No.
probably need each other right now.
Why?
She's too good for him,
Mm-hmm. Way too good for him.
but he's
That's
got
exactly
a good
what-
job.
Yeah.
They have similar jobs.
Here's the thing. You know that the next time, when he goes back out on tour
Mm-hmm.
and he starts his normal, I'm Justin Bieber, I'm the king of the world kind of ego.
Right.
He's not going to stay with her. They're going to do they broke up because of
So he's going to hurt her again.
Yeah, totally. It's going to happen.
Okay, I'm not into that. If he's not planning on making this a thing and really committing to it, then leave her alone.
Right. And and that's how he got her back. They're saying that he started trying to get her back after he found out about the kidney transplant.
Right, because he felt like, oh my gosh, I could have
lost her, and he was so sad, and that's what made him stop partying and go and hanging out with certain people, and he started going to church, which that's all cool. And you got her back, but you only really had to fight for 3 months, and now she's back.
I know, but that's because the thing with the weekend didn't pan out.
Yeah. Well, see, and then they said that that was fizzling out, her and the weekend. So
Right.
it was like perfect timing for Bieber to come back.
Right, because sometimes you're waiting for it to fizzle out so you can come back. I remember, this is so sad. I used to get in fights over girls and girlfriends and make up with them and get back together with them the whole time, putting all my energy into it and being gay.
Right. I'm like, girls.
Exactly. I'd be like, oh man, we got to get back together. And,
right. Because your rejection button was getting pushed, even though you were gay.
Exactly.
What in the hell was wrong with you? Britney Spears just donated $1 million to Children's Cancer Facility and donated a flower painting to charity.
That's nice. I love when celebrities give big sums of money.
I totally agree.
But they have to because it's tax write-off.
See, I don't want to think of it like that.
Just think of it this way. They're going to have to throw their money at a certain charity anyway, so it's just nice that, look, she picked a good one.
Yeah, I totally agree. And if you are blessed to get, you need to continue the blessing and give.
Right.
The flower painting that she donated.
That she made?
Yeah, she's a painter. Here, I'll show you the little... it's nothing that it's like something your kid would draw of flowers.
But still, now you have a little painting from Britney Spears.
And it went for $10,000 at auction. That helped raise money. So that's
baby. Yeah, I would like that.
You would?
All of the boys and all of the girls are begging to FBC me.
Okay. Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson is speaking out about the fact that she believes she was truly asexual, never felt attracted to anybody until she was around 30 and met her current husband.
Yeah, we all feel that way when we're fat. You're like, I'm not attracted to anybody. Nobody's attracted to me.
It's better
just going to stay home and rub one in. That's what she would say.
She's dealt with the rumors about her sexuality for a minute there. You even thought she was gay, didn't you?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it because, didn't she have a husband and all that?
No, she does now.
Okay.
But for a long time, remember, she didn't have anybody.
Right, because you thought, the 2 American Idol winners are Larry and Kathie. He's gay and she's lesbo.
Right.
That's what everybody thought.
Right, and it's not that way. So she said that when she was 30, that's when she started dating her now husband, Brandon. And she said, I never felt sexually attracted to anybody before him.
Well, I feel so sorry for girls that don't discover the rabbit.
I know. Well, okay, or themselves, right. She said, I'm not downing the exes. Everybody's different, but I honestly thought I was asexual, and I'd never been turned on like that in my whole life. And then, when I got with Brandon, I was like, oh, that's the feeling.
That's
okay,
my lady part.
right.
Man, that means her boyfriends before him did suck.
Yeah, and she said that's what they were talking about and waiting to exhale.
Wow, that
That's so
sucks.
funny.
You were kind of a late bloomer, too, when it came to familiarizing yourself with yourself.
Well, yeah, I mean, I gave it up a lot without realizing that I could have had a good ending. If that's what you're talking about.
Right, and then I felt so bad, and it totally was the episode of Sex and the City when Charlotte buys her first rabbit.
And
we
then
couldn't get Kathie to go out anymore.
No, I couldn't.
She just wanted to stay home and mess up her hair.
Right, I was down in college.
Right.
I had plenty of time.
And she actually rode the rabbit all the way back to Denver.
No, I didn't. Yeah. Do you know when I got rid of that? I had to double bag it through
because it was still talking. Like,
no,
don't kill me.
No. Make sure that it was totally, gone and
buried it in the backyard.
No.
And then Kathie had dreams of it. It was still
of the dogs.
Yeah, it was coming out of the dirt. I'm coming back.
No. It's long gone. Lou Diamond Phillips, haven't heard of him in a while. He's an old school actor, okay? But not that old. He's I don't know, his 40s or something. But he's an idiot. He actually turned himself in for a DUI in Portland.
Why?
He drove up to a cop, totally wasted, at 1:30 in the morning, rolled his window down and said, "Can you help me with directions?"
Oh, so he wasn't turning himself in. He just gave himself up.
Totally. And
Wow.
the cop immediately noticed he was highly intoxicated. You want to know what he blew? I'll tell you what he blew.
Not the officer, because that's how you get out of it.
We wouldn't know the story if he blew the officer. 0.20 on a breathalyzer. More than twice the legal limit.
Wow.
Yeah, you're a dummy. Oh, wow. Look, there's his mugshot. Ooh, he don't. Lou Diamond Phillips, you don't look very good. Cardi B is saying it's time for her to be a role model, y'all.
To who?
To the kids.
Oh, no, you're the aunt where we don't want the kids around.
Mm-hmm. So, Cardi B, in a video that she made, she get a little New Year's resolution, but everyone thought it was an April Fool's joke.
She got bloody moves.
She said that a lot of girls, they be looking up to me. They love me. And I'm thinking to myself, yo, I really need to be a better example. She said she's been trying to be more PG-13 and less rated R, which I have been able to tell by her clothing. I just thought it was new money.
Okay.
That she's dressing, her little style, she got a stylist.
Okay.
Remember, because Nicki Minaj went from crazy wigs and blah, blah, blah to style.
Nicki Minaj used to dress at Party City and Hobby Lobby.
Right.
She would glue a bunch of glue to her body, and she would just roll around, and that'd be her outfit. And then her whole thing was, I'm going to put a wig on a wig.
Right.
What?
She was Marge Simpson.
Right. That shows you what happens when a girl doesn't have the right gay friends.
Right. But it got her noticed.
Right.
Just like Cardi B being crazy and out there and wild with her styles prior to now has gotten her noticed.
Stripper clothes.
Yeah, the stripper clothes. She says that, but it's her friends. Her friends keep ruining it by pulling her back into the dark side.
Right. They're all, come over here and do crack like you used to.
Yeah, and then she said, but I'm going to change for you little girls because I dead ass love you.
Okay, well, let's see this transformation.
Right, let's wait. We're waiting to see. Pins and needles, Cardi B. Pins and needles. Wow, Wiggins can't even believe these.
He's all choked up.
Okay. And the Smithsonian is honoring a bunch of songs. They put out a 9 CD box set. It's coming out next year. It's called the Smithsonian Anthology of Hip Hop and Rap.
You're not obligated to keep any disc, but you'll receive a new disc every week.
Exactly. So, 120 tracks are on it.
That's longer than Chris Brown's current release.
Yeah, right. He had a long one, right? Yeah. So some of the songs are LL Cool J's "I Need Love."
Okay, that's
a good
classic.
one, right? You got to have Public Enemy's "Fight the Power,"
of course,
right? Ice-T's "6 in the Morning."
Sure.
Lauryn Hill, they chose "Doo Wop" for her.
That's a great song.
Totally a great song, right? Even though she hated it.
I know, but still.
I know, but it's a great song.
Mm-hmm.
The one song though that is making people go, "Come on!"
It better not be TikTok, even though that's an amazing song.
No, it's this song.
Which one?
Go ahead, hit it, Wiggins.
Is that
Maybe not.
Ice Baby?
Has it even started? How did you know?
Because it's
playing.
It is Ice Baby. Yep.
And you know what?
He made it into the Smithsonian for hip hop and rap.
Wow. But see, here's the thing. It's like people are going to, of course, identify with that song because that was like the first time white people had a song. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's like, hey, look, we have a guy too.
It's actually going in, because I didn't know this, but it was the first hip-hop song ever to top the Billboard charts when it went #1 in November of 1990.
Of course, it took a white guy to do it.
I know. That's what sucks the most. There was so much good music in the 80s and the 70s, and you mean to tell me this is the first one that charted at #1?
201 million views.
And
Damn.
You know what's crazy is, like, everybody, like, you know, kind of already assessed, oh my God, that guy's just like one-hit wonder, whatever. And then, like, his career got extended a little bit because Madonna started having sex with him.
Yes.
And then he went away where he was supposed to go, and then he reemerged as a fix-it man.
Yeah, and he's a good fix-it man.
Right, so let's leave you as a fix-it man.
You're a fix-it man.
Right.
So turn it up in my headphones, Wiggins. Yeah, so there you go, Smithsonian, if you wanted to get it. But there's other good stuff, like Ice Cube's represented, Eric B. and Rakim, you know, like...
Right, everybody's in there. You can text us or call us now, 303-728-3420. We always love to hear from you guys on what we're doing, and apparently people like to hear us argue.
Yeah, they love to hear you arguing. So they're talking about the nagging.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking about that this morning. So it says, my mom nags, and it's both good and bad. Good because I'm a very respectful person and clean, and bad because she nags to the point where it's her attempting to verbally control you and sometimes even bring you down. So now my main focus in life is not to be like that with my kids or my husband, because I don't want to be like my dad or Kathie's dad and just say, yes, ma'am. Yes, dear.
You know, the problem is everybody, they listen and they want to do the opposite of what was done to them. So then, like, she's like, well, I'm not going to nag my kids. So now she'll wonder, why are my kids such little asses?
See, and that's the thing, like, people that are like, oh, I never had anything growing up, so I want them to have whatever they want.
Then you raise a spoiled kid.
Exactly.
Right. So quit going complete opposite of what you had.
There's still a fine line.
You got to pick and choose. Like, you know, there was, obviously, she said she's a nice person. She's respectful. So some of that nagging worked in your benefit.
Right. And you can't be a parent, mom or dad, and not do some sort of nagging, because you're trying to teach those kids, like, every single moment's a teachable moment, and you got to teach them, take care of yourself, put your socks on right, get your shoes on. They don't know how to do it. They've only been here a couple of years.
Right. And they're like, your job isn't to be their best friend.
No.
You're still the parent.
Your job is to teach them how to live in this world, how to survive.
Right. So there's going to be times where your kids hate your guts, and that's part of the package.
That's okay.
Right.
Yep.
If they don't hate your guts, you're doing it wrong.
Someone is very concerned. Veronica's very concerned about you and Wiggins, Larry. He wants to know that everything's copacetic on this side of the microphones.
I'm willing to, like I said, I'm always step up, take half of the responsibility, but I rarely hear him step up and go, I'll take that other half. For sure, it's half my fault. So I'm willing to move on and step up, but I feel a little tension still.
Okay, balls in the court over there.
All right,
Wiggins.
50-50.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
See, I can still
Wiggins?
smile after that.
I was going to say, Wiggins, I'm going to need you to smile. I'm going to need you to smile, Wig.
Put on the
50-50.
Yeah, there's a smile after the 50-50.
Right.
Okay. This one says, I'm a corrections nurse. We've actually started giving out Narcan to our opioid-addicted inmates upon their release. I don't know what Narcan is.
Me neither. It must be something with THC in it.
EpiPens are $100 plus. $100 plus. I agree with Kathie. The country is so backwards.
Right.
Because I was saying that it's crazy that I know somebody that is a pill addict.
Oh, right.
And they can pass a drug test, but someone that doesn't do anything except maybe get high can't pass a drug test.
Another text says, trying to get medical available for pro athletes is great, but it would also be incredibly beneficial for our veterans, which is true. It's ridiculous that VA refuses to allow it.
Yeah.
We need national legalization so everyone can get the medicine they need. And you know what? Even if they started medically nationally just for veterans, that's okay.
Who are we to say no to these people that put their life on the lines, and it's affecting their families and their lives when they come back? Who are we to say no, you can't have that?
We've had on the show and on my podcast before that, we had Sean Azaridi, who was the first purchaser of marijuana legally in the state of Colorado. He's a vet, and he suffers from PTSD, and he's an advocate, and he is like, he goes around and speaks to groups, and he like lets people know, and other vets, because there's still a lot of vets that are still in the throes of that pharmaceutical addiction that's been given to them, just like there are a lot of athletes that are still in that mindset of I'm stuck in this addiction,
right,
when they could have been given something that was way more healthy for them.
And we all see the statistics on how long the soldiers have to wait to get seen at the VA.
Right.
Imagine, like, no, you can just go get medical.
Right.
And the Green Solution or whoever has broken it down as to which kind of high and what will help you with the PTSD, like, it's come a long way, and they should have access to it. I completely agree with you, Texter.
You know what I'd love to do is I read all the time that it's very hard for some of these vets to get service dogs and service animals because they're expensive.
Yeah.
It would sure be kind of cool if we could team up with the Green Solution and somehow come up with a program that not only gives them something better for them that's like for their PTSD, but maybe where we help fund the vets get a dogs.
The Freedom Service dogs?
Right.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Because that's amazing what the Freedom Service dogs can do for the vets.
Absolutely.
I mean, they can be trained to. I met. There's one dog I know. When the owner and him get home, he opens the door and the dog goes in and clears the whole house.
Right.
So the dog is trained to run upstairs and look through all the bedrooms, come down. It's like just helps him with his
peace of mind,
and his PTSD. The dog can like close doors for him, or it's just they're trained to do so many things to help the anxiety of our soldiers. We should be doing more to make sure that they're comfortable.
We won't rest until a dog can load a bowl for you.
I was sitting at a kitchen table talking to one of our friends who was a sniper in Iraq. And I'd never seen. Have you ever seen someone when the PTSD turns its ugly head? It's terrifying. So we're just sitting at the kitchen table, and his cousin was there, and we were might have been smoking, and he was talking about his fellow soldiers that were gone and something that had happened, and one of the occasions, and then he started talking, things that he'd seen, through the sniper lens, and all of a sudden it's like this glaze just went over his eyes, and he wasn't even at the kitchen table with us anymore.
Wow.
And it was scary to be that person with him because I didn't know how to help him.
Right.
So I looked to his cousin who was like twice his size, like, what's happening right now? And he was like, you just have to let him go through this really fast. And it hurt my heart that this is what he's now going to live with the rest of his life.
Right.
So it's a very serious thing. And I agree. We should definitely help our vets get
for sure. And spread the word that, there is a lot of benefits for them versus some sort of opioid.
Yeah, that's going to make your liver hurt.
Right.
Or now you got to,
right. We see the ads for those
your
things.
Eyes and right.
Some people did this and experienced that.
Come on.
Blazin' Hit Radio, Larry Ulibarri, Kathie, Jane Wiggins.
So you know how every year another list comes out of the things you can't afford, like, Tiffany's has their list, or Nordstrom, or
right. All the crazy gifts that rich people buy.
Yeah, Saks Fifth Avenue. They all put out their big lists. Okay.
Right. So this is like the 1% of the 1%.
Right. And I'm telling you this particular thing that Tiffany's is putting out, because Tiffany's, I think, just gave up this year. I think they just grabbed anything around the house and then put a huge price tag on it, and rich people are going to be a sucker and buy it.
Well, don't they mostly just sell jewelry?
They do, but no, they're selling more things on their Christmas list. Okay. So how about an empty tin can?
Okay.
For $1,000.
So do you put the $1,000 in the can and that's the gift? Or?
No, an empty tin can, $1,000. Oh, bendy straws. You can pick up those bendy straws
for $1 at the dollar store.
Totally, you can. No. This bendy straw is going to cost you $350.
So basically, you're saying Tiffany's opened up the $100 store.
Yeah. How about a ball of silver yarn? You can go to Joann's Fabrics and probably pick that up for
89 cents.
Yeah, something like that, right? No. This is a $9,000 ball of silver yarn.
And it only does half a sweater. So you're like, I need another $9,000 to finish this sweater.
So then you have an $18,000 sweater?
That's totally terrible because you don't know how to knit.
If you find yourself about to buy something on this Tiffany's thing, just realize that you have too much money and you should just give that money to somebody else.
Mr. Elway, you can buy whatever you want. Don't listen to Kathie J.
Yeah. Elway, go out and get that empty tin can. That sounds real smart. Put a string through it. Buy another empty tin can. You can talk to somebody.
That empty tin can is for what you put your self-respect in.
Okay, so ping pong paddles.
Okay, those are awesome. Those are definitely more for spanking.
Oh,
Okay.
This is caught me off guard. This is just ping pong paddles, not for spanking.
I know. I'm just saying they're the perfect.
$650 for a pair.
Okay, so what is it? They're just rubbing it in everybody's face?
They went around the house, picked up whatever was laying around, and said, let's turn that into something and make a huge price tag to it, and people are going to buy it.
Wow.
Okay, a flask. People love flasks, right?
Those you can get those to get engraved for your best man.
Yeah, they're so
They're
cute.
$20.
Right. So, but this one's shaped like a fish.
Oh.
That's got to get the price up there, right?
Okay, maybe $200?
$1,900.
Wow.
For a flask. Oh, I got it, everybody. Lego pieces.
Okay, that's got to be cheap.
They can get expensive if you're going for collector's items.
Right. If you're buying the big Star Wars Death Star.
Yeah, the Star Wars that
can be kind of pricey.
That was like $750.
Right,
that
but
big
that's a
Millennium
collectible,
Falcon.
right.
So no, and that had like 3,000 pieces in it. Yeah, this is 10 Lego pieces. So
you really can't make anything.
I can't really make anything, but it's $1,500.
Okay, what are they made of? Gold?
No, just Lego pieces. All right. Maybe
I hate rich people.
Maybe I'm just, maybe it's too much on the rich people. How about this? Some fake silver bird's nest with 3 porcelain blue eggs in it.
That sounds great.
For $10,000.
Wow. and the fact that they're being serious about this.
The fact that, right, it's like, are they laughing at us? Or, no, I think the world's laughing at them, right?
No, I think that there are rich people that are buying these things, they're laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, for sure. They're the same people that bought the pants that were see-through that were $250.
These are the same people now that will get together after Christmas and go, can you believe how many people bought this crap?
Yeah,
we made our budgets.
Oh, my God. Like, we had to go out back and get more tin cans.
Right.
Couldn't believe that people were paying $1,000 for them.
We all got raises.
Yay!
It's time for...
All out on 3. 1, 2, 3. All out. 1, 2, 3.
Larry, you look very on sports.
What about him? I think he's great. Hey, wait, what was the final score in the Broncos game?
I don't know, 57 to 27.
So my score was wrong.
Yeah, you went low on your score, didn't you?
Sometimes that works out for me.
51 to 23.
Oh,
that's exactly what I said it would be.
God, that's painful.
Yeah, that was painful.
God. It was like you reached that point where you wanted to be the parent and just be like, call the game. Just call it. We're going to get pizza, okay? Just call it.
Right. They showed footage of John Elway leaving this third quarter.
And there goes his
there goes
Tesla.
the owner.
Yeah.
Or he's not really the owner. He's the boss.
General manager.
Right.
And then, you know what I also noticed is that John Elway's promoting car dealerships again. Is he getting back in the auto dealership business?
I don't think so, but I think sponsorship money might be pretty good.
Huh. Yeah. He took one of my endorsements. I used to endorse American Financing, and now he's doing it.
Yes.
Thanks, John. No, that's a great company, by the way.
Yeah, it is a great company. Actually, it's the whole Broncos that are doing American Financing, isn't it?
Oh.
I don't know.
Well, then if you can afford to pay John Elway, you can afford to pay us.
You got to call our girl.
But no, the Broncos, they're in trouble. Everybody knows this. So I just say that we call it a day, and everybody just know that it ain't going to happen.
Okay, I think I, as a Bronco fan, was like, the season might be over.
It is.
I think you're done.
Is.
And then I was looking at the way they were playing in the fourth quarter and going, yeah, I think they think the season's over too.
Okay, but wait a minute. Since my sports knowledge is so vast.
Oh, yeah, you know everything.
But limited. There is, still mathematically, if we won every game from this point on, could we make it to the playoffs?
Just depends on the Chiefs and the Raiders.
Right. There's a chance of maybe getting in as a wild card.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I've seen the CGI graphics of what the stadium's going to look like for the Raiders.
Oh, in Las Vegas?
So cool.
Sick.
But that doesn't have to do with the playoffs.
Yeah, they're going to have slot machines in the stadium.
Are they really?
No, I don't know.
Oh, I was going to say.
I thought that'd be really cool.
Could you imagine? You would, Larry would miss the entire game because and you'd lose a lot more money in the slots than you would buying those $12 beers.
It looks fancy, though, that stadium, and it retracts and it goes around. And
Although an NFL slot machine clapping would be fun.
Oh,
Oh,
and
yeah.
NFL.
That'd be a lot of
Yeah. Touchdown. And then all the things start going crazy.
Right, and
you
it's
can
like-
get a bonus round.
Right. It's like, oh, look, I punched my wife in the elevator 3 times. Win. Oh, that one guy.
That was.
What one guy? What was his name?
Yeah, it's-
That guy that we don't say his name anymore because he's a bad person. I'm just saying.
that was, bad video.
They're not like without reproach, the NFL, you know.
Who was that guy? Ray? What
Ray
was-
Lewis.
yeah. Joan? No.
Ray. Oh, God dang.
See how
shouldn't have said that
easily we
name.
forget?
I think we all forget.
We all just move on and
But
give him
no.
a pass.
But we all have the image right now playing in our head of when he socked her.
Right, I know.
Ray Rice. That's
Thank
what it
you,
was.
Ray Rice.
Right. But the Broncos, I don't want to be doom and gloom on the whole season because that's not my job.
No.
I'm here to offer hope.
Hope. So bring it.
Okay.
What do we got? So the game is Sunday. Who are we playing?
The Patriots.
Uh-huh.
And we all hate Tom Brady. And, the thing is, sometimes it takes being trashed so much and having everybody hate you as a team for you to bounce back and all of a sudden beat a team like the Patriots because you felt so ashamed of what has
That
happened.
sure would be a way for us to
Get back in the game?
save the season.
Exactly. So without
Beat
that
them.
happening, if we don't beat the Patriots, we're done.
Right. Like, let's all go get pizza.
Exactly.
And that's Larry Ulibarri
On sports.